Hey, good morning everybody. I am here to talk a little bit about an upcoming project I'm going to be working on, which requires me to set up a multicam shoot for a podcast. This weekend I spent some time trying to put together an optimal multicam setup. I do have an Atmos Mini, so I'll probably end up using that, but I just want to make sure that as I pack up my gear, I have everything I need and I can be quick and nimble at the site. So let's go ahead and talk about that, and let's do this. First things first, how many cameras? Now, there's certain factors that will vary this answer. A, the amount of gear I have to take. I want to take the right amount of gear and not overkill. I want to take enough, but not too much. So when it comes down to 2 cameras versus 3 cameras, that really means having an additional case. So if I take my R as a 2 camera and then take the Zcams or the Blackmagics, you know, that's additional gear to take on. Also, it means 1 more set of sticks. So I have to find another tripod in order to set up the 2-shot. So that means taking 3 tripods, 3 Pelican cases, and then enough monitoring equipment to make sure that it all fits together. If, in fact, I do go with ATEM Mini for my live switching, what that would really do for me is allow me to monitor all my cameras in one spot. So I would theoretically only have to have 1 monitor, everything going into the ATEM Mini, and then I record live. That is a definite option. But again, that's more equipment to be taken with us. Also, the camera gears. So either I take Blackmagics or I take the Zcams. Blackmagics I'm sure work great with ATEM Mini, so if I go that route, I'm sure it's going to work really well and be manageable with that. I like the Zcams because of the size, and if it's a tight space that we'll be recording in, I could actually fit it and, you know, make it a little bit more manageable. Right now I have a shoulder rig on it, and I don't necessarily need that for this because I'm not going to be hand holding anything. So I mean, that's really what it comes down to. But if I mix and match, you know, how do I get a solid color across both cameras? Do I just shoot with a 709 baked in, or do I correct everything in post? Now, if I'm going through the ATEM Mini I'm recording, that's going to become a little bit more challenging because it does record in H.264, and I'm not going to get the full, you know, size of the files that would allow me to color correct. So I really need to make sure that everything going into the ATEM Mini is looking the way in camera as I want, and the LUTs are there. So being able to match a LUT between the two and have it look consistent and good, because I don't want one camera to look better than the other and make it look like I'm favoring one participant over the other. The other part of that is if I go with a 3rd camera shooting with like a DSLR, like an R, does that mean that I now have 3 different looks I need to accommodate for? Now the R is going to be a little bit different because these are micro 4/3 cameras and it's a full frame. So that's why I would choose to use that for the wide shot, because I could, you know, minimize the depth of field and you know, not compress the background too much. So then it makes it easier to match up to the Zcam or the Blackmagics. Other thing is audio. So audio is always going to be a challenge. If I go through the ATEM Mini, I could always do it with the 2 mic inputs that it has on it. It has 2 3.5 mic inputs. I could easily hook that up to a Rode Wireless Pro, or even some of my Rode XLRs, or not XLRs, my Rode video micros, and just put them in front of the participants, have them speak into that. I would like to have a consistent audio track, because this is a podcast. I want to be able to have that consistent audio so that they could take that and either use it as part of their YouTube channel, or if they do choose to make this available via a podcast network, they could do that audio and put that up. So key on the audio. Visual is probably going to be secondary, but being that, you know, I'm working as a videographer, cinematographer, I really want to make sure that that video looks good too. I'm thinking whether or not I'm going with, you know, what type of mic, whether it's a shotgun microphone or a condenser mic, or even lavs. You know, I only have one set of lavalier mics, so that might not be an option, but I could always rent another set of lavs and then be able to go in with that and then record those to the ATEM Mini or even into camera. Post-processing wise is, do I record it all in one go, all through the ATEM Mini, and record it out to a USB-C drive? That's probably going to be, for the first time, the easiest to do. Or do I record it separately to the different cameras, and then in post be able to merge everything together? Now I want one consistent audio track, so I don't necessarily want to record one microphone here and one microphone to another camera, because that then becomes a little bit more difficult to put together later in post. And again, it's a podcast, so we want the audio to be primary and good and clean and not something to think about, because if the images don't turn up. So if you've done a two-person podcast setup with multiple cameras, I'd love to hear in the comments below how you did it. Any pointers and suggestions would be great. I've done interview style things like this before, but I typically will focus on one subject. The two shot, or two people, two subjects, having a conversation. I haven't done it in a while, and something that will be a good exercise. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestions for me. And we will talk with you next week. Have a good one.